What's up, baseball fans? Frank from Frank's Card Corner here. Today we're going to take a look at my 1984 Topps baseball set. This is the 5th set I collected as a kid back in the 80s. Let's take a look at the set stats. 792 cards, just like the previous years, starting in 1982. This is also the home of the Don Mattingly and Darryl Strawberry rookie cards, plus a lot of Hall of Famers and stars. Let's take a look at the set. Going to start off with the California Angels. You can see Rod Carew at the bottom, Tommy John, Tim Foley, Bobby Grich, Brian Downing, Freddie Lynn, Ellis Valentine. Always liked the design of this set. Not one of my favorites of the 80s. Very simplistic, but still a clean design. On to the Houston Astros. See Nolan Ryan and Mike Scott at the bottom. Mike Scott went on to have a couple of really good years in the mid-80s. On to the Oakland Athletics. You see Rickey Henderson there in the team leader card. There's Rickey, top middle. That's Rickey's 3rd or 4th year card, I believe. Davey Lopes in the lower right. Dwayne Murphy. On to the Toronto Blue Jays, managed by Bobby Cox, who would later go on to manage the Atlanta Braves. A couple of good sluggers on this team. Lloyd Mosby, Willie Upshaw. On to the Atlanta Braves, you see Bob Horner, Gene Garber, great reliever back then, Phil Necro, Dale Murphy, Joe Torre's the manager. On to the Milwaukee Brewers, Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer. There's Paul Molitor, Don Money. Ted Simmons in the lower left, great hitting catcher back in the 80s and 70s. Robin Yount, Hall of Famer. On to the St. Louis Cardinals. David Green in the upper right corner. He was a highly touted prospect back then. Didn't last too long. Tommy Herr, George Hendrick. Managed by Whitey Herzog. Whitey managed the team for many years. Willie McGee's 2nd year card. Darryl Porter. Ozzie Smith, top middle. Bruce Sutter, both Hall of Famers. Andy Van Slyke's rookie card. And on to the Chicago Cubs, Bill Buckner, Ryne Sandberg's 2nd year card is in this set. Lee Smith just made the Hall of Fame. On to the Los Angeles Dodgers, Tommy Lasorda, manager. A lot of stars on this team. Bill Russell, Steve Sachs, Mike Scioscia. Alejandro Pena's rookie card. He had a few good years. There's Fernando Valenzuela. On to the Montreal Expos. I believe this would be Gary Carter's 2nd to last year with them before he got traded to the Mets. Tim Raines. Tim Wallach. Great third baseman for them throughout the decade of the 80s. On to the Giants. Atlee Hammaker had a few good years with them. Great pitcher for a while. Jack Clark. Jeffrey Leonard. Hall of Famer Frank Robinson managed the Giants back then. On to the Cleveland Indians. I believe that's Julio Franco's rookie card in the lower right. Mike Hargrove, Rick Sutcliffe. I believe that's Pat Tabler's rookie card, lower right. Gorman Thomas, big power hitter. Played many years with Milwaukee. On to the Seattle Mariners. Moving on to the New York Mets, Tom Seaver and Mookie Wilson on the team leaders card. George Foster, Danny Heap, Keith Hernandez, Dave Kingman. Tom Seaver back with them for a couple of years. And there's Darryl Strawberry's rookie card. On to the Baltimore Orioles. Rick Dempsey, known for his rain delay splashes. Cal Ripken. Eddie Murray. On to the San Diego Padres. You see Tony Gwynn at the bottom. That's his second-year card. Gene Richards. Eddie Whitson, managed by Dick Williams. On to the Philadelphia Phillies. A lot of Hall of Famers on this team. Steve Carlton, Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Tug McGraw, Joe Morgan, many years with the Cincinnati Reds back in the 70s. On to the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's Dave Parker. Dave was the final card that I needed to complete this set. Had a tough time getting him for some reason. There you see Chuck Tanner, the manager. On to the Texas Rangers now. You see Bucky Dent. Knuckleballer Charlie Huff in the upper left. It's Frank Tanana. Moving on to the Red Sox, Wade Boggs, second-year card. Rich Gedman, managed by Ralph Hook. Lots of Hall of Famers on this team. Jim Rice. And on to the Cincinnati Reds. See Mario Soto. Onto the Royals, we see George Brett. Brett, obviously a Hall of Famer. Only player to win the batting title in 3 decades. 1978, 1980, and 1990, I believe, were the years he did it. Amazing. Onto the Detroit Tigers, we see Sparky Anderson, the manager. Kirk Gibson, Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker. One of, if not the best, second base shortstop combination of baseball in all of baseball during this time. Moving on to the Minnesota Twins, we see Tom Bernansky there, great power hitter. Ken Herbeck, Frank Viola, Gary Gaetti. Lots of power on this team back in the 80s. On to the Chicago White Sox, there's Harold Baines, just made the Hall of Fame. Ron Kittle, that's his rookie card, the top right above Tony La Russa. He had a couple of really good years, Kittle. Big home run hitter. Moving on to the New York Yankees, Rich Gossage, Ron Guidry. There's the Don Mattingly rookie right in the middle. Best card in the set. Lou Piniella, Greg Nettles, Willie Randolph. And we finish off with the highlights, which start off the set. Steve Carlton, Ricky Henderson. There's some league leader cards. Here's some active career leader cards. This was another mini set that they put in here. Finishing off with the All-Stars of the set, the American League and National League All-Stars. And last but least, the checklists. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos.